Ich mache das dann heute Abend nach der letzten Partie. Wir bekommen Besuch aus Wales. Der Mann ist ein ehemaliger Rugby-Profi, der konzentriert sich seit dem Jahr 2014 voll und ganz auf Darts. Hat im letzten Jahr ein Viertelfinale bei einem Major-Turnier erreicht, das war beim World Matchplay. Und er ist die aktuelle Nummer 22 der Welt. The price is heiß. Herzlich willkommen, the Iceman, Gerwyn Price.
With a souped up tempo, I'm on a roll, time to go solo, rolling in my 5.0.
Gerwyn Price nimmt es mit der Nummer 9 der Welt auf. Ein Mann, der schon 11 Pro-Tour-Turniere in seiner Karriere gewann, der in 3 Major-Finals stand, zuletzt in diesem Jahr 2016 im Finale des Masters. Und vielleicht wisst ihr das noch nicht, wie immer läuft er hier in Mülheim mit dem Song der Toten Hosen ein. Hey, hier kommt Alex. Hey, hier kommt Chizzy. Dave Chisnall.
Here comes Alex.
Dave Chisnall, two-time finalist on the Euro Tour this year and a multiple major finalist, 4 major finals he's been at, including the Lakeside final. On stage now, looking to book his place in the final session of action at the Happy Bet European Darts Trophy and get himself a little early birthday present, since 36 tomorrow. But to do that, he's going to have to wreck the campaign of Gerwyn Price, who's looking for a huge day of his own, and what could be a big day for Welsh darts, with Richie Burnett looking to win back his tour card by finishing second behind Rob Cross on the Challenge Tour. As the muscle-bound former rugby player who strode on stage to Vanilla Ice looks to follow up his win against Jermaine Wattermainer. But right now it's time to stop, collaborate and listen to Paul Nicholson.
Vanilla Ice versus Chizzy Rascal.
Indeed.
Yeah, it should be a good game, this. And the puppy's going to get us underway, George Noble. He's had a couple of ding-dongs already on that stage. Chizzy with a right ding-dong yesterday with Jamie Caven.
First leg going to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, contrasting paths to this last 16 stage. Both seeded players, as most of the players we're seeing today are. In fact, the 2 unseeded players have been knocked out. Andy Jenkins beaten 6-3 by a very efficient James Wade, and Joe Cullen missing 6 match darts against Peter Snakebite Wright.
60.
So everybody else is a seeded player who's entered the tournament at the second round stage yesterday. Gerwyn Price saw off Jermaine Wattermainer 6-2 in a display where he was always in charge without ever really hitting top gear. Whereas Dave Chisnall somehow managed to defy Jamie Caven, who hit 8 180s against him,
60.
missed a match dart. It was just incredible scoring. It's not many times Dave Chisnall will play someone and they hit twice as many 180s as he does.
Yeah, that's about as rare as a dodo.
93.
Interestingly enough, he did say it's Dave's birthday today.
Tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow. If he makes the final today, he will then have made 100 appearances
140 going
in the Euro Tour, and there's not many people have done that. I think Peter Wright has done that this weekend. Kim Hybrooks and Michael Van Geuren are the other 2. But we're getting to the stage now. The Euro Tour has been around a while. More people are starting to get towards that landmark. And Chizzy has got there a lot quicker than a lot of other people.
Yeah, well, Peter Wright and Kim Hybrooks, the only 2 players to have played every single European Tour event since it started in 2012. But Gerwyn Price has left the men's tour, and he can use that dart. He can use only one of those darts. A big wall of tungsten to bounce off. There you go.
The first leg, Gerwyn Price.
Bit of a yelp celebration from the Iceman, Gerwyn Price.
Well, not really out of character for Gerwyn. He does love a little grunt. And no one's going to argue with him, that's for sure. But Chizzy hasn't really found his range yet. Gerwyn will like that a lot. Yeah,
it's about taking advantage of that. Chizzy always says that the longer a game goes on,
59,
the more comfortable he feels, and he will find his range. And once he does, he doesn't tend to stray too far from that treble 20 bed, because he is a prolific treble 20 hitter.
190.
I think one of the reasons why Chizzy's so good at long format darts, and we have seen that at the Grand Slam especially, is just what he does in practice. I had the privilege of practicing with Dave Chisnall for a good year when I lived in the northwest of England. I used to drive up to Morecambe and see him every Tuesday, and we would practice for 4 hours. And he was as good, if not better, in the 4th hour than he was in the 3rd and the 2nd and the 1st. And that is just incredibly good darts training.
I remember Dean Winstanley telling me the same thing. He was practicing when he had a run at the Grand Slam, Winstanley. He was practicing for the week with Chizzy, and they just went to one of the local pubs in Wolverhampton. And he said, I couldn't believe he was an animal. It's just relentless. It doesn't stop. It's not like there's a purple patch where he, 140, 180, 140. It just happens all the way through for hour after hour after hour. It is relentless with Dave Chisnall, and he fires in a 13-darter there to make it one apiece. And if he does find his range, it's very, very difficult to live with him in the scoring power. We know that there are days when Chizzy will miss doubles.
97.
And occasionally he will miss important ones. Everybody talks about the Premier League semi-final against Gary Anderson, where he had the opportunity to win that and book his place in the final. But look, that happens to everybody, and if Chizzy keeps giving himself the opportunities, one day it'll turn for him, I think.
Certainly will. Here's a good story about practicing with Dave Chisnall. I taught him a little practice game back in early 2011, where you have 10 hundreds, 10 140s, 10 100 pluses, 10 doubles, and 10 bullseyes. If you hit a 180, you get a check on all of the different segments. When you get 10 of all of them, you get 10 of all of them, you win the game. I taught him that in early 2011.
140.
He was undefeated in that game for 4 years. Because he hit so many 180s.
It's not surprising, is it? He is as big a 180 hitter as anybody in the game of darts. Yeah. And you can look at the number of 180s he hits over the Premier League. All right, he didn't have a great Premier League last year. The year before he was superb. But you know that once he does get his range, he's very dangerous. And it does mean that these sorts of finishes with a couple of treble 20s, oh, well, he's gone the 18s route, fair enough.
I'm surprised by that, the way he's been peppering that 60 so far. Well, each to their own.
80. Going, you require 111.
Well, is it going to be 11? Yes, it is. We know it's going to be tops. Will he hit it? Yes, he will!
Short in the 3rd leg. Going Price.
And I think we have a game on, Dan Dawson.
I think we do. Gerwyn Price looking fired up for this, looking to make a 3rd Euro Tour quarter-final. Made 1 last year, made 1 the year before in his debut year in the PDC. That was this very tournament, the European Darts Trophy, although it was held in Leipzig, a different venue. He's good for a quarter-final a year on the Euro Tour, and having won back-to-back PDC titles, his first 2 PDC titles this year, he will be confident that he can go further than the last 8 stage. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet, because it is the number 5 seed, Dave Chisnall, who's fired in his 3rd 180. That's 3 in 3 legs.
What's going on with this bullseye malarkey?
150.
Sorry, Rob. What's going on with this bull shot? You know, first visit, you go 60, 20 and hit a bullseye. I know Mensa does it. That's like a soft tip thing, but it's starting to creep into the steel tip game now.
60.
I'm not a fan. I think stick with the big trebles. On that occasion it worked, you got 50. But I don't see the logic behind it whatsoever, I really don't.
In case of these
100
dart players knocking off the odd number. And, Gerwyn is ultimately left for 156. Chizzy's on 161. There's the 1.
There's the 1. There's a 60. And there's another 60. So
after that first start, it doesn't get much better.
Yeah, just get rid of the 1. Oh boy, you could get rid of the 156 if it's another 60.
Not to be. And that means that Chisnall will look at double top. He had a 13-darter on double top
40.
to level the match at 1 apiece. It's the same formula for 2 apiece. And to take a 14-darter. Doesn't matter which dart you hit it with.
Yeah, he's been strong in his own throw so far. He's going to have to break Gerwyn Price if he's going to win this match. Gerwyn's got a look in his eye today. He's got the real wideness of his eyes, real focus. That spells trouble for Chizzy.
Kim Huybrechts awaits the winner of this one. And I have to say, although Dave Chisnall is the favourite, he's the number 5 seed, and I would love to see Chizzy win on the European Tour. I think the Chizzy Hybricks game would be a good one. I cannot help but think back to the World Match Play when Kim Hybricks took on Gerwyn Price in what was a thrilling exhibition of testosterone-fueled nonsense.
100.
It was marvellous. I thought they were going to wrestle at the end of the game.
Yeah, there was a fine pedigree in that match.
Ah.
140.
Wow, it really was a tussle. I wouldn't mind seeing that again, but either way...
Hey, look, we've got a game on whichever player comes through this. And right now, Gerwyn Price has the slight advantage. That advantage of throwing first. We've had 4 holds of throw.
Tell you what kind of game I like to see. It's when Chizzy starts celebrating.
Wow.
You don't see it very often.
No, you don't.
But when he gets a bit gritty and a few fist pumps come out, that's when Dave, I think, really comes into his own.
100. Going, you require 107.
Well, 107 for Gerwyn Price to re-establish the lead in this game. Treble 16. Tries to leave double top wherever possible, Gerwyn. That's his double.
83.
But he's left double 12 on this instance, and quite happy with that. A bit like Gary Anderson, tops and 12s. They're the ones he likes.
Yeah, you do find that certain players...
140.
Dave's left his age for tomorrow.
24.
Certain players do like the top of the board or the bottom, and he likes the
Shot
top.
and a 5th leg. Going for
He's not messing around with those doubles.
6th leg Dave to throw first. Game on.
Solid stuff here from Gerwyn Price. He's playing at a slightly higher level than he was yesterday, but cheers. That is 4 180s. That's as many as he hit against Caven yesterday. And I'll be honest, if this does go the full 11 legs, as it is threatening to do about halfway through the match, then Chiz could hit any number of
99.
I'll tell you what this weekend is teaching me, Dan, as someone who is trying to get his game back together. It's that I've got a lot of work to do, because I'm looking at the statistics on this screen, and I'm looking at what the dart players are doing on the other side of the screen. I'm looking at 3-figure averages all the time. I'm looking at percentages for doubles that are always above 50%
60
in these really good matches.
Well,
so if you're going to learn, oh boy, this is the standard now. This is the norm. This is the average.
60.
We have seen, you can go and win a game with even high 80 averages on occasion. Andy Bolton managed to come through. It was Andy Bolton who did for Dave Chisnall last weekend in Risa. He actually played excellently in that game. Hit 98 average. The rest of the weekend, Andy Bolton was nowhere near that level. He still managed to find himself in the final day of action.
58.
But we've seen on the Euro Tour losing averages of 111 twice in one weekend. It was just silly, silly stuff. He did go the bullseye.
129.
There's a right way to go, I think. If he hits a 25, he comes back. 17 tops. That's all dependent on Chisnall missing 78, though. Uh-oh, now he's got problems. 16 and bull. Bullseye it is. To hold.
53.
Now Gerwyn Price has got an opportunity to break.
73.
If he hits this, there will be a celebration.
It's only going to be one dart, but he does get to have a go at tops. Hits it. Ooh,
53.
hit it in the third leg. Couldn't do it
25.
in this one. That would have been a break of throw, the first one of the match. But Chizzy has still got 25 to see off. Oh, he's hit the double. Didn't need to be anywhere near that, really. And that means it's going to cost him a dart at the double. He's only going to get one. Double 4 it is. Double 2, sorry, I beg your pardon.
23. Go, you require 20.
Well, maybe Gerwyn Price is meant to break in this leg, just to add to the tension. Does so.
Shot in the 6th leg.
First break of throw.
Gerwyn Price.
Had a break point in the last visit, didn't take it this time around. Gets another opportunity and snaps it up with both hands.
Game on.
Well, Dave Chisnall was averaging 107, 108 just a few moments ago, and yet he finds himself 4-2
99.
down.
I think he's got to remedy this very, very quickly, because Gerwyn Price on his own throw has been exceptional so far. And he's not going to let his throw 96. Go without a fight.
$60.
Oh, he knows he's in that kind of match where if you miss trebles, you're in trouble. Because here comes Chizzy.
100.
I wonder if he gets sick of wearing yellow. He never wears yellow away from the hockey. You ever noticed that?
True, true. Has a lovely line in vests.
177
from Gerwin Price, and you know, he has left a bogey number. There's not a great deal he could do about that.
That's better from Dave.
134.
Both on bogey numbers. Gerwin Price has the throw. That's squared up.
55.
And that's okay. However, he will be asked to get rid of that the next time he's at the hockey. Dave's going to put a huge hole in this. 1-3-1 he wants.
97. Going, you recall 110.
And you'd think that was all right, but it wasn't in Dave's eyes. He wanted a 1-3-1. He wanted 3 clean darts at double. But he might only get 1
86.
if he doesn't hit treble 14.
Dave, you requires 74.
Only going to be 1. A double top. Needs to get out of the way. That second dart does do. Expert finish from Dave Chisnall. It is a break straight back. And a necessary one for
Dave
Chiz.
to throw first. Game on.
Well, here we go. It was all on throw. Gerwin Price gets the break he wanted, but lets it slip. Just like that dart from Chiz.
81.
Rescues it though. Never fear, Chizzy's here. I tell you what, Gerwin Price wants to fill this up and make a statement.
140.
And after 5 consecutive holds of throw, we've just had a couple of breaks back to back.
96.
Gerwin Price could manufacture another break here, and a couple of trebles would go a long way to helping him do that. And there it is.
140.
Chizzy in a spot of bother here. Can he dig himself out of this hole?
94.
Well, he's asking questions of Price, but Price is finding the right segment more often than not.
105.
Yeah, sensible stuff. 116. He'll look at the 19s. I'm pretty sure that would go in Price. I think we'll go 4 19s for tops, but Chizzy's going to leave himself handily placed.
140. Going, you require 116.
Now to break. Single 19. For double top for 5-3. Gerwin Price. Does
96.
not find the target. Chizzy may only get a dart at the bullseye.
90.
What's he going to do? Is he going to go for the bull first? I would advise 20s, however. Well, there's a 20. That's a good miss. Little smile as if to say, right, okay, there's 120. There's another one. Oh, he moved the
65.
bullseye, but it wasn't inside.
You require 20.
Price comes back, 2 10s. 2 5s. Look as if to say it wasn't close, but that was.
Short in the A flag.
And now that
Price.
2-leg gap is back, and Price is throwing for the match.
9 flag going to throw first.
Dave Chisnall once again finds himself on the brink of a relatively early exit. He has made 2 European Tour finals this year. He is a former winner on the European Tour, a 4-time major finalist, Dave Chisnall. But Gerwin Price, a man who has won his first 2 tour events this year, and looking to make the quarter-final stage of a European Tour event for just the 3rd time, he's in a very strong position
95.
to knock the number 5 seed out of the tournament. Ian White, the number 7 seed, was knocked out by Mensur Suljovic.
Well done. You might get your wish of a Gerwin Price, Kim Huybrechts rematch. And I, for one, would love to put my name down for that one. Because it's looking increasingly likely when you're sitting on 184 after 6. Dave Chisnall's on 306. You really do have a great chance of closing this match out in this leg.
Gerwin Price has been very, very impressive thus far in this game.
Right, mathematics for Dave. 19s it has to be. Stay there on this one. Now go to the bull. Oh, just hit that.
171.
171 in reply to the 177 from Gerwyn Price in this leg. The 141 is not going. Chizzy will come back and look at 135, and he may well have to take this out to stay alive, because Price will get 2 match darts in his next visit. Starting on the bullseye, Dave Chisnall. Hits that. So it's 19s or 15s, goes the 19s, needed the treble and doesn't get it. 2 match darts for Gerwyn Price, 8 for double top, and his 6-3 win to knock Chizzy out.
Double 12. I've seen some peculiar darts this weekend. He's got away with it!
Shot.
2 darts!
And the match, Gerwyn Price!
That's all it takes. Dave Chisnall is going home. Gerwyn Price, we will see him later on in the quarterfinals. Hands were up. He didn't mean to hit the treble 8. He did, but then he hit the double 12. It doesn't matter. He wins. He goes on later to play against Hurricane Huybrechts in a rematch of an absolute corker at Blackpool this year. And I don't think they'll be shy in their celebrations later. I cannot wait. Please join us for that. But next, we are looking at Benito van der Pas and Jelle Klassen, which also could be something special.
Gerwyn, congratulations. That's a good win against number 9 in the world.
Yeah, I played a little bit better than the last game, so yeah, it's coming together a little bit more. Pick it up now for the next round, and you never know what can happen.
For most of the players, the upcoming break is the most difficult one because it's so long. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm not too sure when I'm on now in the next round, but I'll just have a little break, just keep throwing, keep my arm in, and like I said, I'm not sure how much break I've got, but I'll just keep my arm going, keep throwing, and hope for the best.
Michael van Gerwen could be the next one?
Easy.
Okay. Good luck.